Wake up, Coco and Ryder.
Alright, so welcome to a Solo 6 training again, and this time we are going to talk about cowriter. So we're going to wake up cowriter. Remember, cowriter is the word prediction piece, and in the Write Out Loud video, I talked about how cowriter is not just for those kids who are struggling with their spelling. Okay, use it with some of your highest kids and see what happens. Teach kids how to use it when they're taking a longer time, or like they're taking double time what their peers are doing when they're writing. Pay attention to those things, and then look at cowriter. All right, we are going to dive right into cowriter and cowriter behind the scenes. Okay, again, you as a resource teacher, an RTI specialist, this is kind of where you come into play. It's that behind the scenes part and setting cowriter up for your students. Okay, first of all, I want you to get familiar with cowriter. Go ahead and use it. Cowriter does not have to be opened up in Write Out Loud or in any of the solo components. If you open up Microsoft Word and then you could open up cowriter on top of that, it will look just like we have here. If you open up Google and you want cowriter, the word prediction up, you can go ahead and do that. And I was talking about Google as a search, but also if you want to, if your class is using Google Forms or Google Docs, you can go ahead and pull cowriter up, okay, as long as it's on your desktop. All right, let's go ahead and dig in. The arrow in the bottom right-hand corner will flip cowriter around. All right, so after you flip cowriter around, this is where you will be able to set your student preferences, okay? There are tabs up at the top: topics, word bank, vocabulary, settings, and users. Couple of things. If you are setting it for a student, you might want to click user first.
Users tab.
Okay?
Select the name of the writer whose settings and vocabulary you want to use or change.
Okay, so if you as a resource teacher or an RTI teacher would like to set up cowriter for a specific student, you would go to users. If you notice, we are in cowriter and we are under that student Ben. So
Topics tab.
if Ben comes in and he already knows what topic he is writing about, what vocabulary he might need to insert to help him spell some things, he can go ahead when his name is pulled up and go ahead and change some of the cowriter stuff around. So it all depends again on how you as a team, you as a building want to organize Solo 6. How do you want to organize the cowriter? Do the resource teachers and RTI teachers just want to organize it and do the student preferences and don't even teach your students how to do that? If you're in elementary school or maybe even just like the K-3 kids, probably that's where I would go. If you have 4th and 5th graders, you might want to start teaching them, especially if they've already used cowriter, start teaching them how to choose their own word bank, how to add words, how to choose a topic that will help them. All right, so that's kind of the background information on setting cowriter up and what we're going to be talking about. Topics. Your students, when they write from topics. We're going to choose more topics, and let's look at them. All right, so over on
the topic dictionary, you would like to see active topics equals dictionary.
Sorry, I do realize that there's a bit of feedback when you're watching this. I apologize for that. All right, so picking topics will help pull through vocabulary from these specific topics to insert into the word prediction and you can also have them pulled up as a word bank, and I will show you that. But if you click the word bank, then your word bank will stay up over here in the right hand corner all the time, if you choose to have that up there, and then you still have the word prediction piece as well. So you can choose a topic. Today we are going to talk about, let's find kind of a fun one to talk about.
Topic dictionary list. Shows the available topic dictionaries for the categories on the left.
Alice in
Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now let's look at the word bank. Oh, sorry. Create a topic. You can type in a new topic if you would like to. Oops. I don't want to go through. You can deselect them, and you can manage them, okay? So it kind of just helps organize them.
Word bank tab.
All right. So remember when I was talking about your word bank would show up over here? You have the chance to look at what the word bank is going to look like. And remember, we chose Alice in Wonderland. So these are some of the words that they chose to go in the word bank. Okay, pretty sweet when a student is writing about a topic, and instead of sitting down and brainstorming or sitting down and handwriting all those words that you think the student might need to use, the word bank is created for you. All right, now a couple different things. All the words, only nouns, verbs, or adjectives. You can display it in a list, a cloud,
Show while writing.
or show while writing.
Show while writing.
We're going to show while writing. There you go. It's over on the right hand side. Okay. Vocabulary.
Vocabulary tab.
You can
Dictionary.
You can choose what level of vocabulary you would like for that student to work with. All right. You can see beginning, intermediate, or advanced. Right now we're going to leave it on intermediate. Let's click more vocabulary.
Category list.
Okay, so if you wanted to add some vocabulary, this is the place you could actually add it into that word bank as well.
Category
So,
list.
famous people, let's
Topic dictionary list. Shows the top Abraham Lincoln. For writing about Abraham Lincoln. Debate campaign. Topic dictionary list. Pablo.
and now you can view it. All right, so this is what Pablo Picasso's dictionary or words would look like. You can add words, you can delete some of those words. So for every project that a kid is going to do, you're probably not going to go through and add all these vocabulary words and make it specifically unique for each student for each project. But think about, I know I've been in buildings where maybe in 5th grade they do the big huge Native American piece. All right, that is a huge piece. That piece takes several weeks for the students to work on. So one thing you can do, I would think about it in the beginning of the year and say, hey, 5th grade teachers, are you doing a huge writing project on Native Americans this year? I would like to kind of set the co-writer up for the students, so when they're ready to do that, it is ready for them to use. If you know of other bigger projects that take, I would say that take at least 4 weeks for students to use, this is perfect. Go ahead and you're going to set up their vocabulary. You're going to help them out.
Okay. More?
Okay. Add personal use. Add personal words. Sorry. A student always spells because wrong. I mean, now that's going to be one that comes up in word prediction anyways. Maybe a student cannot spell his best friend's name. Let's put that word in there. Okay, the student likes to write about his best friend. Let's put his name in there and spell it correctly for him so he doesn't have to, first of all, doesn't have to misspell his friend's name. All right. Secondly, then it's in there. Maybe he'll get familiar with the word and eventually he'll start spelling it correctly on his own. All right. Settings. Speech. You can choose the text, you can choose the color. This is one thing why I wouldn't want to show students how to use the preferences and the changes that you can do. I have been in schools where I come in and I'm like, oh, you guys are using solo. I can tell because all of the colors are changed. It's not a big deal. It's a total preference thing. But sometimes kids get fixated on all the changes and all the buttons they can use, and it becomes an issue and another distraction. So I guess you guys know your audience best. You know your students. Just wanted to point that out. All right, and again, we went to the user page. You can add a new user.
Activate selected user.
Okay. If your students are going to be able to, they're going to be allowed to go in here and change their name. If they're not logged in as themselves and they're just opening up one of the components, then they're going to have to go in here and choose their name. If they are logged in as themselves, the preferences should come up. Okay, the preferences that you choose that you've made for them should come up. All right, then we're going to flip this back around. I want you to see if my word is not up here, I can go to the top arrow on the right hand side. This is your flip around, get your preferences one, but the top one, and it has more guesses. Speak, which we already have it on speak. Sorry. Erase the word. Hide cowriter. There's a couple little things that you can do in here. We're going to hit more guesses. All right, my word's still not there. So I would hit more guesses. Oh, okay, we're going to put yes. All right, so you can hit more guesses, and then because students sometimes look at it and go, but Mrs. Erickson, my word's not there. What am I supposed to do? Well, first of all, I'm not going to tell you how to spell it. So we got to figure it out, all right? And I just put E-L in and elephants.
Elephants.
Oh, enormous isn't coming up yet. Let's look and do more guesses.
Enemies. Economies.
Nope, that's still not enormous. More guesses. Oh, hang on. There you go.
Enormous.
Sorry. I thought I had typed an R instead of an M. That was giving me several different answers.
Enormous.
There we go. I said the R sound, but I typed an M. Simple mistake, especially when it's a little bit later in the day when I'm doing this video, but that's okay. Again, I'm not quite sure why all of a sudden our word bank is not showing up. I want our word bank to show up so you can see what you do with that. All right, so word bank.
tab.
Let's go back to topics. Alice in Wonderland was not chosen, that's why. So before you go back, you just want to maybe go back to your front page, even though we didn't go to the front page and deselect it. When we were going through some of the other things, it deselected it. Okay, Alice in Wonderland is chosen. These enormous these elephants, enormous.
Soldier. Soldier.
All right, so remember, you have your word bank. The students can choose from the word bank, which there's several words.
Build. Lizard.
Several words in the word bank. They can choose from there. They can listen to the word bank. They can also use their word prediction.